Focus on selling more books and getting more readers. Friends and family should already be a no-go for authors here, folks. First-time authors get a pass, but if you're a newbie, you might want to hear me out. Most online retailers like Amazon function on an algorithm, an intricate mathematical formula that customizes the customer experience based on browsing and buying history. Now, these algorithms pay close attention to the groups of customers with similar interests and buy history, then recommend other products within that space. For example, my neighbor loves reading books about quilting and sewing. I'm sure she has friends who share the same interests and buy the same books. If you get a bird's eye view of things, you'd see it's an entire ecosystem of interrelated readers who share mostly the same tastes. Now, if I have my neighbor buy and review my paranormal romance book, it'll mess things up for both of us. For one, my neighbor will start getting suggestions for other paranormal romance books that she may not be interested in. And for two, my book will get recommended to the wrong readers.
Understanding that you actually have a target audience, that your book's not just for everyone, because that's the first misconception that we need to get over as authors. And it's hard because we love the work that we do and we're passionate about it and excited about it. But just like I know, not everyone's going to want to read one of my horror stories or werewolf stories. Not everyone's going to want to read your awesome book either. So some strategies to think about. Who is your target audience? So who would be interested in or benefit from your book? Now, what problem does your book solve for them? This is easy with nonfiction, right? My book on Wide for the Wind, for example, what problem does it solve is like understanding the wide mindset. But what benefit does the book bring to them? And the benefit could be, I love romance beach reads. What's the next book I should read? So maybe that your romance beach read book that you've written is, it solves that problem for them.
So I think that what the internet has done and social media has done is brought the reader and the author together in a way that before we didn't have. If you wanted to meet an author, they had to be big enough to get a book tour and get to be in a bookstore and you go stand in line to meet them. Now you can interact with them from the very minute they start that journey into being an author. You can connect with readers even before you have a product out, and readers are wanting that. So by interacting with readers, putting out personal, I don't mean like personal information, but being personable on social media so that they can interact with you, ask them questions, share some of your traditions, some of your writing. They love to be part of that writing community.
Maybe you published a novel in the past that people didn't like, and now you're imparting that onto the blinking cursor. You don't actually know how your book is going to perform, okay? So people fear what they imagine or what they remember. However, here's the thing. When you look at a blinking cursor, what you are feeling is actually not fear. It's anxiety. And there is a difference. Fear, as I said, is a biological response designed to save your life when you are in imminent physical danger. Are you in imminent physical danger when you're staring at the blinking cursor and you've got writer's block? Everybody say no. So therefore, because a saber-toothed tiger is not going to burst through your wall like the Kool-Aid Man and gobble you into 10 easy pieces, you got nothing to worry about. All right. So I'm giving you permission. Stop being afraid of things that you imagine or remember, because that is your brain playing tricks on you. Okay. It's your brain playing tricks on you, and your brain will do all sorts of things to try to get you from writing.
People complaining that they're in the 200 club. So you might be in that club, you might not be posting yet. But what we need to do is challenge that mindset of saying, oh, my videos are only getting 200 views, because 200 views is still 200 fresh eyes on your books every time you post. So if you're not happy with 200 views, you're in control of that. But ultimately, you need to, my advice would be to adjust your mindset to 200 views is 200 views for nothing. Now, how much would that cost anywhere else to stand in front of an audience or stand in front of 200 people in person and show them and pitch your books to them?
In terms of experience, there's things you can do that are fun and engaging for your readers, and this can fall into the marketing category. In fact, it absolutely does fall into the marketing category. But think of things like offering scavenger hunts and quests. These are popular. I did a early on with my newsletter, I did something where I built a sort of I built several pages on my website that you could only access if you could gain the password. The password was, the first password was from one of my books. If you could figure out that on this page of this book, in this chapter, or this many lines down in the first page of the chapter or something, this word, use that as the password, and it would unlock this game on my site. And the game was simple. It was almost like a choose your own adventure kind of thing. It was just a whole bunch of web pages that were all locked by passwords, and if you could figure out the clues, you could solve it. And then at the end, the prize that I offered was you could actually get an early download of one of my upcoming books. You'd be the first person, whoever could solve it would be the first person to get their hands on an ebook that I was going to be releasing soon. And that blew up. People loved that. They like being engaged in that sort of way.